And here's Johnny.
I'm holding my breath trying to get rid of hiccups.
Oh, did I get rid of it? Now here's Johnny.
Probably.
Do you know if people watch The Shining? Well, I don't know. Is The Shining ever seen on TV anymore? But if people watch it, do they know what the "Here's Johnny" line is? I'm convinced that probably half don't.
Yeah, you
Hmm.
could be right.
Oh, we lost your photo.
I
Oh,
know. Hold on. I'm.
oh, there we go. Okay,
I
okay,
tried
yeah.
to turn up my volume and everything got weird.
Okay.
Okay. I'm back.
What? I don't know why I thought about this, but when I was in France one time, when I was in France,
Mhm.
and we had wine and oysters. No, when I was in France, I guess they were trying to charge my card for something like a hotel at the convention, at the film convention. And this is pre-EU, before the EU
Were
kind
you
of
at Cannes?
before it was this pre-EU before the EU ruined everything. I'm just kidding. Sorry, EU. Uh so in other words, like each franc was like seven to the dollar. So if I owed like let's say $1,000, it'd be 7,000 francs, right? Am I correct? So and if it was 2,000, it'd be like 14,000. Is that correct? So seven times so 1,000 would be 7,000, right? Yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. That'd be 35,000, right?
So it was
It's,
seven. It was
we can't do
multiplied.
math.
I just got
Okay,
confused.
I flunked math, by the way.
Okay.
No. It was 7 francs per dollar. So yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So 1,000 francs would be seven. So let's say the bill. So let's say the bill was like $5,000. Then it would be 35,000 francs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they call me, whoever it was, the hotel or whatever, and they say there's a problem. Your card didn't go through. And I said, "Of course it will go through. There's money on it or whatever." And they said, "No, it's not going through again." And so I said, I call overseas to Household Bank, I think it was. And obviously this will never happen today ever, but they were charging they thought the 35,000 francs was $35,000. It didn't do the conversion, so they were trying to charge my card $35,000. And so wiped out the whole card because obviously when you charge something, they put a big hold on it, right?
Yeah.
It wiped it out, and I think I only had like one other card, and it wasn't, so I was like, oh. So now it's easier because it's sort of like 1 to 1, 1.2 to 1, or that kind of thing. That's when you're calculating, it's a little bit better because you're thinking, well, these oysters cost 80,000. They cost 10,000 francs. No, or whatever.
A little different.
They cost $1,000. Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. But what I liked about that is that because obviously currency was used a lot then, and so like to pull out like 50,000 francs or something, or 30,000, or 10,000 francs, even, like, or 1,000 francs, you have like a shitload of bills, like a wad like this.
Right. Yeah, you'd be like, I'm rich.
Yeah, because typically people didn't have like the 100,000 French banknote,
Right.
franc note, or the 50,000. They had like 1,000 notes, 2,000, and the coins too. So like had all these thick wads, just like in Italy too. And then like the size of the currency, the dollar, their currency, it's a little bit taller. Okay, so it's skinnier, and the height is taller than the U.S. American dollar, so it sticks out of your wallet if you have an American, because I obviously had an American wallet. So it sticks out. So you have all these bills sticking out over the edge that you're trying to fold over because it's a different size than the American dollar. So
Yeah, I noticed that. Where was I? It must have been it's well, Mexico and euros. Like they're all different sizes than ours.
yeah, yeah.
They're
I
all
wish
different
it.
sizes and like colones and in Costa Rica.
Well, I wonder how it worked out. It was like, 'cause, I mean, don't forget, the United States is only a 200 something year old country, right? 270 or whatever, whatever. Um, all these countries are far older than America, right?
Hmm.
So what do we do? What did we say? Oh, that we don't believe that your money, your currency that you've utilized for all these years, it doesn't work. We're gonna make ours skinnier and wider.
Yeah,
Is that what?
and make it skinnier and wider. I think
Because the
colonias are beautiful though. They have the
because
most pretty money in
because
Costa Rica.
majority of the countries, the currency is like wider. Like all the majority,
Hmm.
the currency is taller and wider,
Shorter and yeah,
and then some of them, yeah, like so small currencies, like instead of a quarter, you get a small little bill like that, and then your $1 like this in like Singapore or some or
really.
Myanmar. Yeah, sure. I have some sample.
Yeah, I'm just used to coins being like the smaller ones in a lot of places now.
Yeah,
Like you get like the little euros
I
or
should
you get the.
I shouldn't have said use the word coin. I should have said denominational currency.
Mm.
So so yeah, so hopefully by now they've corrected their wallet because we don't even use currency here anymore, right? I believe now overseas uses currency far more than we do here because you still have little mom and pop shops on every stand and you're giving dollars. I suppose here, like in New York, maybe or Detroit or something. I don't know because people are still using their tap card or they're using their debit or their credit.
Yeah, I mean
But
it's still a mixture because even at the farmers market, people are using cash and now you
yeah.
can use card all over the place. So
Well, I was
I
talking
think,
about in Europe, they don't. I think they're still using lots of currency because there's a mom and pops, and like to get the technology to download and to clear the card and stuff. That's not easy to do in certain areas of
well,
England
they'll
and
send
certain.
it to you for free, but you have to pay processing fees, and that's where they're gonna vouch for we want to take cash only because they don't want to have to take pay the fees for using Square and stuff
No, no,
because it takes money out.
I'm not even talking about that. You can't even get like a reasonable internet broadband signal on your phone in some of these places. So how are you going to charge the card when
Sure.
you've got no link up? So that's what I'm saying. So the currency is being used far more overseas than here. I don't see it being used ever here anymore. I don't know. It's just bizarre. Just like, you know, I was using it as far as much as like 2 years before, and then it started tapering down when people. Well, the issue was like everybody would say, "I don't have change. I don't have change. I don't have
Mm.
change," and then I said, "Okay, well then it's worthless now." It's making my time and job more problematic. So um,
Just
yeah,
depends on the market, like where are you shopping, right? Like certain places are gonna be like we're cash only. There's lots of restaurants and bars that are card only, cashless venues. Like all the big stadiums and stuff like that now are cashless venues and you have to use card only. Um, it makes sense for them.
no, I just think there's no. I think it's cash. I'm not saying I'm not. I mean, that's few and far between. I'm saying 90% of currency usage is down. I'm positive about this, and I think it's because people don't have money, and currency is useless. What is currency actually? What's backing it up when we owed how many trillions of dollars?
Oh,
Like
nothing
what?
is backing it up. It's all fake. It's
So
doesn't mean
that's
anything.
what I mean. It's as worthless as Iraqi dinars under Saddam Hussein. Like it's basically yeah. I mean,
And
I don't mean
we've
sorry.
placed value on pieces of paper, but at the
I
end of
don't
the
mean
day,
I don't mean to
it
that
could go
extreme.
away like this.
I don't mean to that extreme, but I'd be curious to see like these hot dog stands and these street food peddlers. How are they dealing in cash and stuff? They're doing the instant Venmo or whatever?
A
So
lot of them take
yeah,
card. A lot of them take card.
that's what I assumed because
Yeah.
it's not even necessary for cash anymore. And cash was dirty, and you
Yeah, I
get
mean, they take
yeah
both, but they now accept card too, right? So it
yeah.
makes it easier for them.
And you get penalized. You get penalized for using cash, and you could lose cash. And cash isn't trustable for 10 seconds in front of somebody the moment you leave the table. It's
What
just
about laundromats and washing machines and drying machines?
Some of them
yeah,
take card now.
yeah. Those are
Oh,
all. Hey, those are all going to go like cards. It's just like what video games were.
Yeah, some of them
Yeah.
do. Some of them, I mean, plenty of the ones I've been to still take coin, but a lot of them will be taking cards too.
It'll be easier because then you could put your EBT or you could put your social program on that and use that card to do your laundry. I'd like to, it'd be great to see those kind of programs that, benefiting youth than just here's a card. Because, what does a card do for you? Just zero. Like, I don't even know what the point of a savings account is or anything or a checking account. I don't see any point to that. I really believe in the progressive technology where, money's not, look, just as much as digital, you can't see money, and it's been like this for years already. So I like just put my finger, okay, that's paid. What's wrong with that?
10 years ago, I would have never heard these words coming out of your mouth.
Oh, because I like cash 10 years ago? No,
No,
not for
because
me.
you're more of a traditional old school kind of person, just like with physical media versus like streaming, right? Like similar in similar vein to where you're like,
Oh, because physical. Well, I
yeah.
mean, I mean, we'll fight our battles. I'll fight for film physical. I'm not going to fight for physical currency. I'll fight for physical art because
Hmm.
I think art's going in the toilet as it becomes more digital and AI as it goes along. I'll fight for that. I'll fight for, you know, saving the last pastel oil paints and all of that.
That's never gonna go away. That's never gonna go away. I mean, there's digital media and then there's physical media. There's
Yeah,
always
but
gonna be an
Yeah, but
expansive.
but haven't you noticed like the guys that sell all those paintings on the streets? They're not even there anymore. Like there used to be these peddlers that they're always selling like these big wide, 18 by 24 paintings or 24 by 36.
Well, when was
And
the last time you went to look for peddlers on the street? Also, it has to do with experience of like, are you out there to see that stuff, right? I see it still, but it also depends on like where you're at or what you're doing.
that's true. I'm just saying I'm not looking for it, but when
Yeah.
but you can't not see it when it's there, and they usually pick good corners, so they probably got turf reward by
Yeah,
uh
well, it's also
you know
permitting, and then the houseless population has gone up a lot all over major cities. So simply, it's not as safe, and then there's less people like occupying the sidewalks as sellers. Now at farmers markets and stuff, sure, you're going to see people selling art. I work at farmers markets, so I see the artist right across from me. I talk to one that does clay sculptures every week, so it's there.
yeah.
I just think it's a little more organized. And being somebody that just came from Burning Man, like there's a huge, huge conglomerate of just like beautiful mixed media art, whether it's digital and or physical. Like, so I see the blending of the worlds. And art is always going to be art. Like it's not going to go anywhere. In my opinion, I would be very sad to see it shift away from people making stuff with their hands and only relying on computers. That would be so sad.
Well, at least if they do a hybrid, I don't mind a hybrid sculpture as long as there's clay in it. Put some clay and then you can do clay. Then yeah, I don't care if the rest is AI. That's fine, but at least there's some clay in it. I don't know how
Yeah.
I don't know how you make that work in AI clay sculpture, but it's doable. I'm sure anything's doable. So
Oh, there's so many things that you would go out there and think could never be possible, and you're like, "Somebody did that, it's amazing." But no, I'm just thinking in terms of, like, you're gonna see a drone show, and it's gonna take place over this huge, amazing sculpture that somebody spent hours and years, and blood, sweat, and tears making with their hands, right? But they
yeah, yeah.
probably partially designed on a software program to make it to scale, etcetera. So that's what I mean by blending of. It's not like intentionally done that way. It's just kind of like you're looking at this sculpture. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Somebody made this. And you look over here and you see this like incredible drone show and there's like this thing going on in the sky and that's all technology, but it's still art, right? And you're like, "What is this?" That's what I mean as like a hybrid experience.
Mm. Maybe we're the hybrid experience. We're art too for somebody. I
100%.
don't,
Yeah,
so
100%.
yeah.
What do you think, Warren? Are humans an experiment of
This
consciousness?
experiment, I'm not sure, but last year when I went to a Dodge game, yeah, there's some drones that did a light show. Yeah.
Pretty
I
cool,
guess they
right?
were, yeah, instead of fireworks. So
Oh,
yeah,
It
fireworks are
ended
fun too.
it ended for me when they fired was Oscar Mayer from doing the Dodger Dogs, and now it's somebody else. And and and
That's when
and
you vetoed it. You were like, "I'm
and
done
then,
with this."
and then people are saying it's just as good, but and sorry to whoever that company is, but it doesn't seem like it's just as good.
Mm.
Just like when Costco fired Nathan's, was it Nathan's or Hebrew National? I think they fired Hebrew National and then they did their own hot dogs. Yeah, it's almost the same, but it's not the same when it was Hebrew National, believe me. So what is the same as the $1.50 though, which that's pretty incredible. Yes. 3/4 pound hot dog, 2,000 milligrams of sodium,
Wow,
8
that's a
grams
lot
of
of
fat.
sodium.
Yeah. But it's not processed, there's no nitrates in it, so that's a plus.
Hmm.
Okay. Wow.
That's a
That was
good.
that was a good show, you guys.
That's a
Super good.
good looking hat, Gregory. Cool looking hat. Like,
Oh,
yeah, and you think you look kind of like the Mario Brothers from Super Mario Brothers.
Ah, like Luigi, kind of.
I look like I look like Popper. I look like Jack the Ripper if there was Jack the Ripper uh, depicted somewhere. I look like Jack the Ripper.
I don't think you look like Jack the Ripper. I think you look like you should be reading a newspaper and like packing a pipe
I'll be reading the Saturday
of
Morning Post.
tobacco. Yeah,
Re- I'm
some kind of old newsprint.
reading Life magazine, going to, yeah,
Maybe, or National Geographic.
yeah. Well, out of the World War II, what do we get? We got spam. What else?
Hmm.
We got astronaut ice cream.
Yes, we did.
I mean, what did we get? I mean,
Lots of trauma. Lots of trauma.
debt, of course.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, well, could we just say to England, we want a refund? It didn't work out. Can we? Can you?
Can we get a can we
Can you
get a
give?
rewind?
Can you give us a refund, England? We failed. We tried really hard, but we failed. So fair, just do a refund. You guys know it better. You still dress proper. You don't have Benny Hill or the Grail anymore, or the Pythons, but
Hmm.
but you still have Mr. Bean, and he's good. Rowan
Mr.
Atkinson,
Bean, yes,
you know,
classic.
and you got rid of the Spice Girls, so that was good.
Got
I
rid of
just,
the Spice Girls?
I just
How dare you?
yeah, we should. What did I can start the lobby. We want a refund. We want the UK to give us a refund.
That's funny.
It's okay. We don't have any listeners there.
You never know.
I like the Welsh. I'm gonna go record the Welsh because did you ever meet Tina and Dave from '80s Picture House? They followed the whole Samurai Cup
I
two
don't think
story.
so.
Even Dave came here and hung out with us and Matthew
Hmm.
Caritas. And Dave's a really nice guy and Tina's lovely. And they followed the whole mishmash of, of that movie. And they're Welsh. They're Welsh. I like just like
They sound familiar.
Timothy Dalton is a good Welshman. So
Hmm. I
yeah.
mean, some of my favorite music producers and DJs for the style of music I like come from the UK, so I can't
Mm.
really
Oh, I mean,
I'm not
look.
hating.
I mean, oh no, no one's saying they're jealous. I'm saying if you look at the key bands of the '80s, they're British, you know, uh, even the '60s and '70s. I mean, they're British. So yeah, so that Brits, yeah, they win, but they lost out on movies though. So you know what I mean, and lost out on TV. I think they
Yeah,
got.
I mean,
I think that
they had a hard time there, so they
I
lost a
think.
lot of they made their own culture, like microcosm.
Well, I think they got shut out by the gatekeepers here because they were going to ABC, probably like, would you like to show the would you like to show Faulty Towers? And ABC's like, what the hell is this? We don't want this. Like, okay, we got Python the Flying Circus, but there's I mean, I find that the oddest thing is that the Pythons were pretty shut out of mainstream television. You had to see them on PBS, you know when PBS meant something, like they would show meaningful programming in movies, but you had to go,
Love PBS.
and it was limited, and it was limited. It was limited when they showed it, but you could still just if you knew it when it was there, you got to discover. That's how I discovered the Flying Circus. So
Hmm.
But also there was a big technical issue. That's why a lot of these European hit shows never made it over here directly. They were either remade or read it, whatever. But because because like the technology in UK, for example, they shoot it their videos like 25 frames a second, right? And our TV here was 30, so there was a big difference on. And then our movies are at 24 frames, so there was a big difference on. And I mean, our by law we had to broadcast in 30 frames per second on for TV to get a license. So that meant all the British stuff looked like crap when you were translating it from 24 frames to 30. Like have you
Mm,
seen if you ever watched like Benny Hill or Faulty Towers, like when they're walking, they look kind of blurry. Have you ever noticed
Hmm.
that?
Mhm.
Kind of that's because it's that early British TV that they were shooting at 25 frames, which is PAL, and they had to get somehow to NTSC standard, which is 30 frames.
Interesting. I still see
Yeah.
that sometimes in modern day stuff, like on
Yeah, well,
TV and things like
well,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't. That's why I don't look at TV. They're taking our movies that are shot in 24 and they're bumping them to 4K 60 frames. So of course you're going to see people look blurry. I mean, Shane Ryan said like he can't watch TV because they're screwing up everything. Every movie shouldn't look like that. Now sports should look like that. I agree. Anything, sports, swimming,
Right.
whatever, well, swimming is a sport, but you know what I mean. Something live, it should look like that. But a movie shouldn't look like that just because you're stupid 80 or 60-inch screen and you want it to be like. I don't know why people always think more is more. Like 60 frames is not really more if you're totally an idiot and you're broadcasting it incorrectly. Like I don't understand why people, and I never understood, like people said, oh, I have to have the red camera, so because that's going to make me have a successful movie. It's not about the damn red camera. Believe me, somebody else kicks your ass on the Sony and gets into Sundance. Like I never understood why people do that. Like they hide behind these sort of numbers and tools just because they feel like it's going to make them better.
Listen, people do it with a brand name vehicle, the type of car, you know what I mean? Like it's not it's the same saying as it's not the clothes that make the man, it's the man that makes the clothes. You can you can have whatever it is, and if you're shitty at doing whatever it is, or if you just assume that things are going to happen some way because you're this or that, that's not how it works. True
Right,
colors will
right.
show eventually, so you
Yeah,
gotta
I mean, it's being resourceful. Like
mm,
you could give somebody a twig and they'll give you a Mona Lisa. And I was reading in Iceland or it's where the it's Arctic Circle people. So somebody I think he was gonna die, and I mean this is a native. He's not Eskimo, but native.
okay.
I forget what tribe he's from. He was gonna die, and he was documenting almost and he had his dog with him though, or actually I think he was alone hunting. He couldn't find anything, um, or he had his dog, something like that. And he knew he was gonna die if he didn't do something, so he had to eat his dog. But so in order to kill the dog, I don't know, there's some sort of ritual, whatever he had to kill the dog. We'll just cut to the chase. Sorry. He takes a crap. It's so cold up there. The crap he shapes into the form of a knife. This is a true story. I'm telling you. He kills the dog, eats the dog. He survives. He goes to his village from a crap knife, a self-made crap. And Warren knows the story because Warren was hearing it.
What? That's crazy. I mean, fucking A, you gotta do what you gotta do.
So
Like, I get it for real.
yeah. Well,
That's
anyway.
I mean, it's a shitty
Yeah.
situation, but
Yeah.
you fuck I mean, what are you gonna do? That is innovative. That's terrible and shitty. It's innovative. Fucking survived. That's crazy. What an
Oh,
experience.
oh.
but
Did he eat the dog raw or did he cook it? Sorry, I have questions now. I have
No, that's why they're in terms of longevity, they have very healthy lives because they eat raw fish all the time. Everything's
Yeah,
all
I mean,
raw.
raw fish is raw
Yeah,
fish.
but they'll eat raw carrot.
Raw
They'll
pet.
eat like raw caribou, and they'll have to.
Okay.
You gotta do that to survive. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get there's tons of super healthy people that eat raw meat. That's whatever. Especially if that's what you grew up doing. Like, it's not weird.
Yeah, sworn.
You're saying that also TV shows like the Paul Hogan show and the Goodies. I think the Goodies was from England. Those also had picture problems.
Paul Hogan's not. First of all, you're wrong. Paul Hogan's Aussie,
Right, right.
so he would be pissed off at you for saying that. He- he'll kick your butt for saying that.
Dang.
I'm, I'm
So
not.
what
I'm
was?
not. I'm not sure. I can't remember if I had picture problems, but I don't know.
No, it's not a picture problem. It's just how they shoot it. But yeah, sure. Oh, but you're asking me how does the Paul Hogan show
Mhm.
look here? Yes, it has that. It has that blur motion because it was shot in 25. Yeah, because Australia was another country that shot that by law had to shoot in 25 frames a second. Yes. Yeah. Obviously, movies look better in Europe on TV because movies are shot in 24 frames and you're converting it to 25. That's not even, it's hardly noticeable. But when movies were shown here from 24 to 30, you know, you notice that it looks a little weird. There's lines and aliasing, and then bumping up to 60. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'd do a football movie. North Dallas 40.
But
Random.
the longest yard.
It'll be the Hittites versus the Sumerians.
There's your plug.
North Dallas 40. No.
There it is. That's funny. I prefer hockey, so I'm not supportive of this
Okay,
choice.
Mighty Ducks and Slapshot, right? Is Slapshot
Slapshot,
ice hockey
cool.
with Paul Newman, right? Slapshot, yeah, yeah. So we're gonna make a T-Bird movie, the roller skating like that. That'd be a good movie. Like it's all set, like it starts with she's putting on her, the T-Birds,
Hmm.
on the roller rink and they beat each other, they
Hmm.
kick it, flip. It starts
Yeah,
with
it's roller derby.
Yeah, so it's a continuous movie. So the camera starts on her foot as she's putting on her rollerblades, right? Follows her up. Moment
Roller
she
skates or roller blades?
Okay, roller skates,
Okay.
T-birds, roller skate. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I'm mixing
Wasn't
I'm mixing years around, but I
I
mean,
know.
once she gets up and she starts spinning, the movie never stops. It just goes on and
Didn't they
on.
do something like that though? Wasn't there a roller
Raquel
derby movie?
Welch, Kansas City
Well,
Bomber?
okay, well, I never saw that then. Kansas City
I
Bomber.
don't know if it was filmed like that. Sorry, but
No, no, no.
yeah.
I'm saying this is like from her point of view, the
Yeah.
moment she sets on the ring. So she's got an enemy there. They're gonna try to hijack her, sabotage her. There's conversation going on. It's almost a real time kind of thing.
Mm.
Rollerball?
No, why are you just guessing? Do you watch these movies or are you just guessing?
They made
Picture
one called
sauce.
Whip
Just because
It.
I mean, because you're insulting movies by just guessing and not seeing them. Like, Rollerball is a good movie. Yeah. But it's not a continuous movie.
Oh,
Yeah. Speed is a continuous movie, more or less. Yes,
Mm.
yes, yes. Love is one continuous stream.
Oh gosh. There's a lot of roller derby movies. Jeez.
Yeah, but this is a good one. You gotta make it like you have to make it. You can't make it from the point of view like an action movie. You gotta make it from the point of view like it's intellectual drama. Like by the end, she's gonna be a different person and she's gonna know about her life and her life is gonna be
Right.
changed forever. Like the
I
tagline on
get
the
that.
like if this was a poster in the 80s, it'd be like, the last tie on the shoe meant the death of one woman and the birth of a new one. To rip off the straw dogs tagline.
Ah, no, I like that perspective, honestly. I think it's interesting. I'm tripping on how many roller derby movies there are. And like I've heard of maybe 4 and I'm
Well,
like
Skate Town USA wasn't that? Oh no, was that yeah?
there's Whip It, there's the Raquel Welch one, there's Blood Flat Blood Flat Track. Unholy rollers, right?
Like you could actually take
Hell
what you could do.
skate.
Like you could take Fury Road and you could set it onto the roller skate
Mm,
rink and you could
yeah.
make a Fury Road movie on the roller rink. So somebody should do that.
Furiosa. Yeah, totally.
Somebody should do that.
You
You
should
know?
do it.
I
That
still
would be
have to.
fun. That would be fun, actually. I like that idea. It's cute. There's a really amazing roller rink in the Portland area. It's so epic. It's huge. It's
Nice.
awesome. They've kept it like really cool and vintage looking, and it's very popular.
We liked it here because there were no roller rinks near us. So there was a show that aired it every Sunday or Saturday, and it was a great show. We're just fixated to the TV, watching people kick each other. It was basically the precursor to the wrestling. You know,
Oh, I was like, there's no roller rinks. There was Skateland, but you're talking about roller derbies. There was no roller derbies.
right. They
Okay.
weren't. I think the nearest one might have been like Culver City or something like that.
Mm,
But the show really brought it to us, and it was like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, yeah. And then they never really entered the people. Like I know, like Glow for wrestling, they kept track of all those ladies and they followed them. But these roller derby shows, I don't know. Maybe they do these signings and I just don't know. I mean, I can't keep track of everything.
maybe.
So
I'm sure
yeah.
they do, but it just seemed like it didn't. First of all, like how do you I want to know the history of roller derbies. Like, how did that even start? Like, did it start because somebody like got on a fight at the roller rink and then they were like, let's make it a sport? Like, I just am so fascinated by like how that whole thing started, like like how did that
Well,
become a thing?
it probably came out of out of a simple competition, and then it became a competition that was more how do you say it, like show offy, show your friends, hey, look what I did, hey,
I guess,
I
yeah,
just
but like
I just
people were
stepped
just
in front.
roughhousing and then
Yeah.
like
Can you imagine, like, I was wondering, like, can you imagine that, or even like ice rinks because those blades hurt? Can you imagine
oh
like the
yeah.
can you imagine the hospitalizations these places did? So no wonder they like all shut down, because like, but they did last like 50 years, because World War II, they used to do this in like high schools, like the floors would open up because the pool would be there. Remember It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah,
The whole
I've never seen that in real life, but I'd always fantasized about like, "Oh my gosh, you guys have a pool under your gymnasium, like, at your school?" I thought that was common every place outside of, like, the ghetto, like, because I grew up in a
Yeah.
place that definitely didn't happen, so I thought that was just, like, across America. If you lived in the suburbs, the floor opened up and there was a swimming pool inside your gym. Did yours have that?
We didn't have that, no, but I mean, we didn't have a pool, but I mean, there was a lot of real estate there for sure. I mean, it was,
Mm,
tennis courts almost exclusive,
wow.
volleyball, basketball, baseball. The huge Zampariti Stadium's a huge stadium
Mm,
dedicated to the World War II veteran, and that's where all the football games, huge. So yeah.
pretty cool. Pretty
Or
cool.
Isn't
or
the
lo-
Olympic Auditorium used to have roller derby? Is it?
Olympic like on
no,
LA Coliseum?
No, near Alley Trade Tech around there.
Oh, I don't know.
didn't Pan Pacific Park, because is that why Xanadu, she's in roller skates or rollerblades?
Oh.
So maybe Pan Pacific had
Xanadu wasn't rollerblades, was it?
she kisses him at the beginning and she meets him on roller, yeah, and then
Rollerblades?
okay, roller skates.
Yeah, because no, rollerblades,
Yeah.
there was a rollerblade movie that I loved. It definitely was not
Okay.
Xanadu was
No, Xanadu, there's a whole number with Gene Kelly, and they're all on roller skates, and well, the Xanadu
yeah,
number itself
it's
at the
roller
end.
skates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not there's a difference in culture. I
It's
grew
like
up
boom, boom,
learning
Xanadu.
on roller skates, and then when I got my first pair of rollerblades, I, like, was obsessed with rollerblades. I still have a pair of rollerblades to this day, and I was really good at rollerblading, and I never really went back to roller skating. Now I have both, and I do both, but it was like think of it as are you a skier or a snowboarder, right? Like, once you had one or the other, you had to, like, choose what side you were on, and so I remember distinctly being like, I'm a rollerblader now. And so now that's why I'm very like, hey, or were they on rollerblades or roller skates? It's like,
Oh no, I'm just catching up, like
uh,
catching a wave. I was saying like do a show on like on the surfing music, the stuff that came during the 60s would
mm,
be interesting because where are those guys? And um,
yeah.
like whereas the Beach Boys could come back because all the baby boomers love them, and
Mm. They never
but
get old. Beach Boys is just so classic.
they didn't really do like surfing music like some of these other people did that were
Yeah.
that was really hardcore surfing music. And so where'd they end up? Because they're not gonna play Vegas because Vegas doesn't want they don't want these old surfer bands coming, so where are they gonna play at?
They'll probably travel around, do little festivals, little surf events. I would assume that they would do like the big surf events around places. Or hell, maybe they end up on a cruise ship. You never know.
I don't know. Anyway, all I know is Xanadu is one of the worst movies ever, and I love it.
Yeah, I agree. Same. I love it. It's terrible.
It's
It's like it's just so sparkly and the smoke machines and like fucking it's like but it's not a good movie, but it's like epic at the
well,
same time.
I mean, it's I don't think anyone's programming it yet, but the perfect companion for that is Sergeant Pepper.
Mm,
I'm sure somewhere someone's programmed that, but that's the perfect double
maybe.
feature because those two movies are such a curiosity. It's amazing,
Yeah.
and those two movies failed because of people who weren't involved with the film business and they thought they could be. Like
Mm,
example, like Xanadu, her manager was just like taking over like everything. I mean, he was a genius manager and songwriter.
mm.
But and the same thing like the Bee Gees had full control over Sergeant Pepper. It's like, oh geez, like can you imagine like okay, we got they're presenting to I think it was Gulf and Western. Sergeant Pepper was Paramount 78. So I think Gulf and Western was it was definitely Gulf and Western. Can you imagine like they've sunk in like 80 million for the year on operating and making movies, and then they show it to the head of Gulf and Western, and then he says, "Oh my God." I'm always wondering because like executives don't watch, it's sort of like me also, like you trust the director, the production team that you put in place, and they make the movie that you hope that you get. So you're not watching every day the dailies that they're shooting unless it's your pet project, right?
Mm.
So can you imagine like the executives and then they're saying, okay, now here's Xanadu, we're going to show that tonight, and like okay, and Xanadu was an expensive movie, by the way, very
Yeah.
expensive. And it came in like they're like, oh, yeah, I don't think I would be like stiff in the back row.
Just like, oh
Oh,
God. I mean, it looks great production wise,
but
right?
you have to
Like
be well, yeah, but watch the movie. I mean,
I've seen the movie and I
it's fu-
remember going, hmm.
it's
So
fun. It's funny. Whenever they interview the director, he never talks about Xanadu. He became a documentarian afterwards, and he made like a successful movie about like Wall Street or financing. So they always interview him for that. So they say documentarian. I forgot his name,
He's like, I
he
don't want to be associated.
he never talks about Xanadu. He never does. But and I don't and I think that's wrong too because there's a lot of admirers for Xanadu, including
It's a
me.
cult movie. Like people like, yes, we can all mostly agree, like, not a great film, but it did well. People liked it, like still, right? Like it still has
Yeah,
a
but
following.
you have to take it. Okay, so I get it that maybe some people were slow to the game and during and during and found the transition period hard. But this follows like Taxi Driver, a very sophisticated movie. It follows um Star Wars. It follows Jaws. It follows some key Bond movies. There's no musicals for a second, but yeah, I'm saying it's sophisticated. All the Coppola movies of the '70s, the early,
Mhm.
so it follows all that. So and yet you've got a film that assumes that it assumes this whole compendium of intellectual or reasonably intelligent movies doesn't exist, and here you go, this, like, I'm gonna show you how this ice skating scene, and with no
This movie felt like a
with no
skit. It
energy,
felt like a
with no,
skit.
yeah, yeah.
It didn't feel like it felt like a skit, like a play
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. We won't
You're
talk more.
saying
I don't want to badmouth because I actually, if anything, would like more people to see it. So, but here's my
Yeah,
question.
no, I
So,
mean, watch the movie. Like you'll get a laugh, you'll get like yes, but it's not Grease or,
uh,
it's like I don't it's
okay,
not.
okay. Purple
Mhm.
side or blue side? Since we're talking Xanadu, purple side or blue side? John Farrar or ELO?
who's John
And
Farrar?
I'm assuming you know
Mm.
what I'm talking about. No?
I'm saying purple side.
Okay. Warn you.
I don't know who's John Farrar, the producer. Who's
Okay,
John
but
Farrar?
that's irrelevant. Do you select the purple side or the blue side of Xanadu?
Oh, the record album? What do you mean?
This is not a science. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ELO, Jeff. Yeah, purple. Yeah.
Oh, ELO is blue. So you're saying you choose ELO or you choose purple, John Farrar?
Blue.
Blue. Okay, that makes two. We get two for blue, one for purple. But I will tell you, Suddenly is a magnificent song, and Magic. Those are both on the purple side.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the stuff, believe me, as a soundtrack, yeah, you know what's making money to this day? It's the purple side. It's nothing on the blue side. I never hear Xanadu being played. I never hear all over the world. No,
Yeah.
I'm always saying you have to believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're hearing suddenly the wheels of it. So yeah.
Mhm.
So that's so.
Hmm.
Nicole, wasn't there a movie called Prayer for the Roller Boys?
A prayer for the roller boys?
Right.
Not that I know of. There
Mm.
could have been. So it was
Hmm.
like a roller derby boys
Or
movie?
something. I think it had something to do with some guys who rode around in rollerblades. A movie. Yeah.
Oh. No,
Oh,
there was this.
that movie was barely released, I think,
Mm.
because that was in the Films Incorporated catalog when I was in high school.
Really?
This is probably like 1988, 89, something like that, I think. And they had just stuck it in there for it was a catalog that you get like for your school because I started a film society and I was showing 16 millimeter films.
Uh,
They sent you this catalog. Here's the new releases that we got. Prayer of the Boys. What the heck is that? And then there was like other stuff like Meet the Applegates, which now obviously has a cult following. Nobody knew it. It was like a non it didn't enter language in any form. So because everyone, I think I was going for in that catalog, I wanted Green Card, the Gerard Depardieu movie and Andy McDowell. So but
there was
yes, yeah.
there was a movie called Rollerblade in 1986 that was like really bizarre.
I don't
That's
think
not
I've
the
heard
one
of
you're talking
that.
about?
No, I don't think
Like
I've heard of
it's
that.
futuristic society rebels fighting against fascist states, and they're aided by a group of roller skating nuns. 80s
Don't gi-
movie.
don't give away the plot for Jamie's next movie because that's the twist, and then yeah,
That's the twist.
and that's just up until the intermission, right?
Ah, well, my favorite movie in the 90s for a while was called Airborne, and it was a
Oh,
rollerblading
I remember
movie.
that movie. Yeah, I remember.
That
Yeah.
movie was great. And anybody that was like into rollerblading when rollerblading first became like super big, oh, that was just 90s film magic right there for a child. I was into it. That movie came out when I was like 9 years old, and it was just the best.
Was there some kind of I guess an early Nicole Kidman movie called BMX Bandits or something?
I vaguely recall.
With
That wasn't
bicycles?
that that was an Australian movie, wasn't that directed by Hugh Keys-Byrne?
Not sure.
Really?
Who was part of who was part of Mad Max? He was in Mad Max. That
Mm,
might have been. I'm not sure if Hugh did it, but that was an Australian movie.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Australian rollerblade movie. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
Well,
Um,
fun. Now I want to
let's.
go rollerblading. Let's go.
So what's the other album I was thinking of that has that choice? Like you could do the you could like you could do the purple or the blue side. I'm trying to think. Warren, what's another example of that?
Beatles? I don't know.
Oh, which one though?
I don't know. Purple, yellow, or purple, blue. um, Abbey Road. I don't know.
Mm,
That doesn't count.
Um,
does it count?
How does it count? That doesn't count.
I
Oh,
was just asking, like, why doesn't it count? I
it's
don't know.
it's the same performers and writers on both sides.
Oh, gotcha. Well then.
You can't do Saturday Night Fever. You can't do Grease. Yeah.
Mm.
what exactly do you mean by purple and blue? I mean, each labels different color. Or what?
Yeah, there's a purple side, side A. It's got the songs by John Fur. It's got Magic. It's got Suddenly. It's got Whenever You're Away From Me. And then the second on the flip side is it's the blue side. It's ELO. So it's got Xanadu, of course. It's got All Over the World. It's got Stuck in Time. Oh, no, Stuck in Time's on the other side. Yeah. Or Suspended in Time. That's on the other side. So, but it's got all the key. I like in that movie how they'll spread out the John Farrar songs like sparingly because they know that they're these great romantic ballads. So they spread them out and they literally just dump all the ELO songs at the end. It's like one ELO song straight after another. And I never really appreciated it, but I guess it makes sense. Like I think ELO, I mean, I'm not putting words in their mouth. My hypothesis is they thought they were doing now that that you're saying Abbey Road, that they thought they were doing that. They wanted to do this kind of in the tradition of this Abbey Road, the second half of Abbey Road, which is like 10 songs put, seamlessly straight, and it plays as one collage,
Mm.
one after the other, and that's
They
sort of like
wanted it to be seamless.
and that's sort of what the Xanadu second side is. It's just in the movie. It's just so funny when you're watching the movie. Kind of, it just goes like the last 20 minutes. It's like, okay, we got to use this song that Jeff Lynne wrote. Then okay, let's use this one here. Oh,
Filling it up. They have to fill up the time. I keep getting the hiccups. I apologize.
There was some kind of movie called Roller Boogie, with Linda Blair, right? I didn't see that movie, but I just remember the TV commercial.
Roller boogie?
Right, with Linda Blair, late 70s or early 80s.
I don't know.
Right,
I was barely born.
right.
I
Some
think
of
that
it I
yeah
don't
that
remember.
yeah Roller Burgers before that's before Savage Streets, of course. Yeah, 82. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
When were
And
you born, Warren? What year were you born?
1967.
Wow. Gosh.
So let's see that Skate Town USA movie. Then that has an early appearance from Project Swayze, huh? Right,
The
right. Didn't it?
sways.
Didn't it? Late 70s. Huh? Yeah. Hmm. I didn't see that movie though.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. No.
I don't
What do
think I
you
have either.
What do you think was Patrick Swayze's best movie that you've seen?
Roadhouse.
My obvious answer is gonna be Dirty Dancing.
Mm.
Also, but though Ghost,
Yeah, I saw Ghost on
uh,
video. I think. Really.
yeah, that
Oh
was
my
a
gosh.
really good movie
I've seen Ghost like 80 times in different forms because I had to let the theater out every time like the movie ended, and you got to go. Yeah, you they say like, okay, go in the last 10 minutes and just get the doors ready, so if it's sold out then they can come out. Because we gotta get new people in. We gotta blow away the popcorn underneath the screen. We don't have much time. Get them in and out. Just open the door. So get there 10 minutes before. So I'd always get there
too.
so I'd get there 20 minutes before, and they wouldn't know. And so I would actually get to see like the last 20 minutes of a movie, like, you know 80 times. and then if I take a break, I'd go like in the middle somewhere. So that ending, and you know, I was watching that the other night, not the other night, but like recently, like what's the thing that flies? It's the ring, right? It's funny how we don't remember it as it being a very simple effect, a simple physical effect. And in fact, it's so simple that it doesn't look realistic anymore.
Hmm.
Where it comes to her at the end and she grabs it, you know. So
Yeah.
Do you know if Ghost was somewhat based on that 1987 Hong Kong movie called A Chinese Ghost Story, or not really at all?
it was.
Do you know? I thought I heard somewhere before it was. Maybe I can't remember.
I don't know. I highly doubt it. Well, I mean, one's sort of a period, unless you're taking the themes like, you know, dead lover, she's got to avenge a dead lover. But then that would be, I don't know how many movies that would be, you know?
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Maybe
Maybe,
just loosely based on.
maybe it's loosely based on Kwai-Dan.
What's that?
Mm.
Oh, you didn't see Kwai-Dan? Music, is it Kobayashi? It's really good. Um, Well, for US, it's like 4 stories, and then for United States release, they cut out the story. They cut out the longest, maybe the best story. They cut it out. I think. Well, no, it's not the best story. Um, but like the first story, um, he has to leave. He leaves his wife, and he gets another woman, and then he comes back to to make amends to his wife because I think he's well-to-do. Then he wants to make up for her. So, and she's looking really gorgeous, and she's like really hot and, you know, cute, and they have a nice dinner and all nice evening. And then, and really, I haven't seen this like in 40 years, so this is just recollecting. And so then,
Mhm.
so then he wakes up, and there's like skull and bones next to him,
Hmm.
and then the whole house is all cobwebbed and broken down, and then her hair, this long hair, it starts flowing, and it starts and it starts attacking like a flying guillotine. so,
What?
so yeah, it's 4 stories, and then the other what's another story? Well, the another story is like this blind man. He's not blind, but he's a yeah, he can't hear. Actually, I shouldn't talk about this story because it's the best story in the movie. It's called Hoichi the Earless. It's really good. But the story that they cut, I think, was the snow. It's just these two hikers in the snow, and they get stuck, and they find a mysterious woman. Um,
Hmm.
I think she's in a tent or at their tent, and then she sucks the life out of them. So, you know.
Do
So,
you
Wow.
know? Oh,
yeah, I mean, I don't know how we got in that. That's so basically, Ghost is a remake of that.
I just had my mind blown. Sorry to interrupt you, but
Well,
I just thought of like I was thinking of a movie. I was like, I haven't seen this in a long time. It used to be one of my favorites, and I really want to watch it. The Crow.
okay.
I had no idea that they remade it in 2024.
I knew that.
I strongly dislike when they remake perfect films. Like, I'm so angry right now that they did that. I don't wanna see it.
I
I
really
won't
like.
Well,
watch the
I really like
remake.
that song at the.
but where were you when Spielberg's remaking West Side Story? Do you really think that should be remade? I say no.
No.
I say
No, if
affirmatively
it's
no.
fine, like, don't remake The Labyrinth.
Right.
Don't remake The Crow. Don't
Well,
remake there's certain things you don't fuck with, and that's crazy. I didn't know. Did you see it, Warren? Did you
No,
watch the new one?
no, but I like I really like that song at the end of the first Crow movie starring Brendan Lee.
Mhm.
What's it called? It can't rain all the time. By a singer named James Seberg.
sometimes
Yeah.
they have to remake these movies because their rights are running out. Like for example, it took like 15 years for Blade Runner to get off the ground. It changed hands from one other to a company, ultimately ending up with Norman Lear's company. Um, you know, from TV. Uh,
Yeah.
so sometimes their legal department will say like, okay, you've got a year left to make it, so either you lose it because Paramount said they want it or whatever. So you either make it or if you don't make it, then you owe all this money to this person, the writer, or whatever, whoever owns the IP, like because you're not making the movie. So that's why there's a lot of times where you wonder, like, why do you want this remake? There and then. Now, early on, for the first, let's say, 90 years of movie making, they had to because of copyright.
Mhm.
Because things kept changing hands and copyright kept changing hands. So
Right,
that's
I get
so
that.
so that's why, like, Jekyll and Hyde, it was, the remake was like only 10 year. Well, they remade it twice. It was a 1920 movie, and then it was a 1932 movie, then it was a 1941. So basically remade it every 10 years. Uh, s- I don't know in that case to perfect the copyright, but what they do is secretly is that, if they're going to lose it or lose or if they're going to lose the copyright, they'll remake it and they'll add stuff to the story to protect, sort of that version of what the IP is, if you understand what I mean.
Mhm.
And so, maybe they feel like they want to, whoever made the credit. Well, I mean, that would have been Miramax to Disney. So Disney now to, I don't know. Is the new one Disney? I don't know. Um,
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm trying to, like, look at see.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. So obviously, whoever what it was, the party thought that that the franchise was worth it enough to go ahead and make this remake. Because I highly
Sure,
doubt
some
I
people love it
because
more.
I highly doubt that the data showed that that was time to do a remake that year. I'm not sure. Maybe it was. Maybe it could have been a COVID delay. Maybe it was planned 3 years before. When there was still more of a DVD market and less of
Yeah, I
a.
mean, it came out in the 90s and it was like a trilogy. Like there was more than one. There was like 3 of them, and then they came out with the new one in 2024.
Yeah.
Um I mean, it doesn't look like it's poorly done by any means. But it always like hurts my heart a little bit. I'm like, I hope they did it justice. The first one was so good.
Right. Right.
But what a cool opportunity. Like as an actor, I would be like, if somebody was like, "Do you wanna play this in the remake of The Crow?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, I do," so I get it. I understand totally, and the fandom had received it well, but I'm still gonna go back and watch the OG
It's
because I
kind of it's
haven't
kind.
seen it in a long time, and that movie just always so good. I love a revenge flick.
It's kind of sad that the people that are a larger part of these franchises don't get to appreciate the benefit it brings because they either die, like in the case of here, it's Brandon Lee, right? Um,
Mm,
and like in the case of a lot of these other franchises and stuff, like these films became
mhm.
became cult movies like 20 years later. So it's like, they didn't even bring Mark Hamill, like, where is he in episode one? Like they don't care. Like it's kind of crazy. Although he is redeemed ultimately in three. Is it three or two? Number two, two, three. So but it's like, it takes time for stuff organically to develop for a call of that nature.
It does.
Maybe they saw something. Maybe they saw a spike and they said, okay, well, the crows. It looks like we want to do the crow. Like if we do it this year, it's gonna make this look.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Should
okay.
I visit Brandon Lee's, grave in Seattle when I go in a week?
Oh, is he next to his father then? Because
Mhm, in Seattle.
Right.
his
Right.
father's in Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah, because he died weirdly too, like, when he was young or whatever.
Ooh, Bruce Lee.
Or no, his dad died, yeah, like, like an early death.
Didn't they? Well, I mean, I know Brandon died in his 30s, I think, and then Bruce Lee died when he was 32. So,
Yeah, that's, like, young for
yeah,
both of them.
ironically, there's a scene in Bruce Lee's Game of Death where he gets killed by he's supposed to be shot during a scene in a movie, and the guy, which is played by Mel Novak, puts a real bullet, a real load in the gun and fires at Bruce, and then Bruce gets,
Mm.
and then they fake Bruce's death, of course. But that's so like kind of weird. It's like ominous that that's how his son
Yeah,
died
like,
died
accidental
on set.
negligence or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
sad, so sad. I
Well, I mean,
remember people
but
just being like,
I can't even comprehend. Well, okay, well that I could visualize the environment, right? It wasn't like, the software guy just, like, saying, "Hey, look at this," and boom, like, which was stupid. I don't even know the details of the Baldwin thing, but I mean, shooting movies on these low budgets, even like the Baldwin movie wasn't a big movie, but there's no time to be messing around doing, hey, let's do, like there's no time for
Yeah,
that.
but you
No,
see
no,
it happening even with safety meetings and stuff. You
well,
see people doing it.
I know this is when they were doing the shot, all of that.
Mhm.
But I mean, like, for them to be lying around, I don't know where the weapon was for it to be lying around, how it was procured, how it was, presented to the rest of the crew. I don't know. It just seems to me there isn't that much idle time to be screwing around with a gun like that on set,
Right.
So
Yeah.
somebody was, if there were live rounds in it, someone was screwing around and had time on their hands. So yeah, yeah. So,
True. Yeah. Sad.
well, okay. On that
But
note,
that's my
fight.
next movie night.
On that road, on that note, fight the power. Fight the
Fight the
power.
power.
Fight the power.
Yeah.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.
Oh, bye.